This. Boom. So we're going to be changing these live sessions to 7:30 a.m. now. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as always. And they're going to be an hour, same thing. They'll be recorded, put on YouTube afterwards. And the reason for this change is we feel like getting onto the charts kind of before the volume kicks in the New York session is probably the best thing to do. I know some people, the time zone is a little bit different too, which makes this a better time. So we just asked everybody what would be the best time to do this. And it seems like everyone can agree that this is the best time. So we're going to continue doing these again at 7:30 a.m. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, as always, just drop in the chat, throughout the session. If you have questions, anything that you want to look over, anything like that. I'm going to get started with DXY, the dollar index. And I will say this, guys, the more and more that I've been trading, the more and more that I've been looking at DXY. So you definitely want to start incorporating this in your day-to-day with looking at these major pairs, because DXY is just showing the value of the US dollar. So again, it's going to be very important for you to understand this concept. What's up, Nick?
What's going on? How's it going, guys?
So let's go in. I'm going to go in on GU, or actually, like I said, I'll start with DXY. DXY is definitely an interesting level right now. Up on the weekly time frame, we've had, quite a bit of a fallout from these highs right here, and we're continuing to pretty much accelerate at the moment down to this monthly level of support here. So I am looking at this level as a support level that it's at right now. Whether we break through here or not is yet to be seen, but we need to keep in mind, we're bearish on literally every single time frame when it comes to DXY. So 4-hour time frame structure is bearish. All the way down to the 1-hour time frame is very bearish. So
also, this zone kind of determines the daily trend. If we see a break of this monthly support here, we'll see an overall transition to the downside.
Yeah, this is definitely, the area that we're looking all the way up on this weekly time frame right now. We're looking at this zone right now. I was expecting some sort of bounce off of this area, but like I'm saying, we just got to look at the trend right now. Trend overall is very bearish, on every single time frame. So yeah, we'll wait and see how this shakes out. But as you can see, it's finding some support now, but nothing crazy. We've got these lower highs that have all been respected over and over and over again. So let's bump over to GU. All of these pairs, as we talked about earlier or on Sunday, all of these pairs with GU, EU, UCAD, NU, USEF, all the USD is getting weaker. All of the other pairs are getting stronger. So we're going to see that as we sort of rip through this analysis. On GU, up on the weekly time frame, overall we're bearish, but we really don't have enough sellers in the market. I'm looking for this really to push up now, up to this level, up to this weekly level of resistance, the 200-day moving average. And as always, let's just bump down time frames and take a look at where we can kind of see structure the best. So down to this daily time frame, this was where I was really basing structure. And once this happened, we had a break of resistance right here, and we formed this new high right there, pulled back, came down, formed a higher low. And ever since this formed right here, we've pretty much been in an uptrend on the lower time frame. So I'm going to look at the 4-hour for structure right now. And again, how do we identify structure on this lower time frame? So on the 4-hour, we're looking, let's start here. We have this high, came down, formed this lower low, moving averages, obviously red over blue, then they cross. So red over blue turns to blue over red right here, form this lower high. So we find some resistance up at this level, come down, form this new low, boom, red over blue, come back, blue over red, find resistance at this level. So a lot of sellers step in the market at this point and drive the momentum back to being bearish. And then pretty much right here is where we get that break of structure. So we come up, retest this high, come down, form this mini high or low, break, then break to the upside. So ever since this happened, we've been pretty bullish on GU, looking for bullish opportunities. And then, obviously earlier this week, we were looking down in this area for potential entries. We were looking for signs of reversal. And we were really waiting for this right here to break. We had this triple bottom on this, daily support level that we had just shown out and drawn out. So I was looking for some sort of break and pullback, which we never got. This thing just accelerated to the upside. So, now let's look based on where we are right now. Is we've got this monthly level resistance, which previously was rejected 3 times, 4 times if we go back all the way to June 15th. And pretty much what I'm looking for is I'm just looking for some sort of retest. So I'm looking for some sort of pullback to this level because we need to get in on some sort of high or low. I don't want to exactly enter at this high. This thing could still be accelerating, all the way to the next resistance level in that weekly time frame, but we got to just be patient. Entries only come on high or lows, guys. So if you're at a high, that means you have all this room to push down, and we don't want to involve ourselves in that. We want to be patient, and we want to wait for an actual entry opportunity. So this would be nice pullback, retest support, also have resistance, turn support down at these levels. And if we were to bring on our fibs as well, we get a nice 38.2 in this area. So GU, I'm just going to be patient on. I'm not exactly looking for anything on this today. We'll see how things shake out on GU. So let's bump over to EU. Let's just go through every single time frame all the way up from the weekly time frame. Or let's start on the monthly time frame. So as we're just looking at structure on this monthly time frame, pretty much just from looking at the chart, I have 2 things in mind. One, we had formed this high, pulled back. Now we're forming some sort of high or low down in this area. Boom, do a kind of sign of a retest after a break of structure. I always like to just utilize the moving averages. So when they cross, come through, momentum shifts from bullish to bearish, and then we come back through like this and find support. That's when I like to consider of a retest. But wicks, obviously, we do take into consideration, look at all of these wicks to the downside. But if you're talking about like wicks touching fibs or anything like that, like I don't personally think that you should, worry too much about, oh, the wick touched the line. Like it's more just momentum, has price actually pulled back enough where the buyers or the sellers need to then prove themselves to consider that a point of structure. Oh, good evening. All right, so let's hop back on this. 2 things I'm looking at right now personally with EU is this price point right here, because this is that long ass wick that formed that rejected off of that level, like 1.49 for 1.4950. So that's definitely a significant level. As I come down time frames right now, are you picking up a lot of background noise right now?
A little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, let me just close my window.
Yeah, I'm gonna get over EJ for you. So just hang in there. Once he's finished with these pairs, I'm gonna get into
Dope.
a few.
All right, cool. So back to EU. So EU, let's just look at structure on this weekly time frame. We've got some lower lows, lower high, retest to this level, boom, made a new low, and then we had this break. So we had this break, rejection of the monthly, and then we found support. Now we accelerated, and we're coming back towards this level, towards that wick. So I'm kind of monitoring that level. Going into this week, I did anticipate us to just continue this trend. So as I come from the weekly time frame, we were bullish, daily time frame, obviously bullish, and then all the way down to this 1 hour time frame. We are bullish on this time frame as well. So we have been forming all the way from this point, higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, came up, retest this high, formed this higher low, and then came all the way up to this level, double bottom here, another higher low. Now what we should more focus on is up in this area right here. So I'm going to move this line. Pretty much we have this higher low form right now. We're getting some resistance, from this level, some pullbacks. So in order for us to continue going higher on this, we need to find support at this level. In order for us to consider bumping up a time frame and seeing what's going on the higher time frame, basically a break of structure, we need this level to break right here. So that's what I'm monitoring on EU going into today. Let's go to UCAD. So UCAD, this is a position that I went over on Sunday. One of the trades that we went over. Let's go to the weekly time frame. We've been basically talking about this, quite a bit. We got this high, pulled back, moving averages crossed, came back to retest this level. Huge bearish engulfing on the weekly time frame, showing that sellers were in control. Then as we go down time frames to the daily time frame, overall very bearish. Had this little bit of a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder form, and now we're pretty much breaking to the downside. So as I came down to this 4-hour time frame, this was kind of how I was looking at it from this angle. Is we had this level right here broken, made this new low, came up, had this lower high form. Then we had this little bit of a fake out up at this monthly level. But even so, as we came down, we broke this level support, and then we were up in this area, and I was all the way down on the 1-hour time frame. And this is really where I was in on this. Is we had this break of support, we had this new low form, this pullback, open the week with some bullish momentum right here, and then basically we were seeing some entry signals right at this point right here. So we had entry signal pretty much right there, and then all the way down to the 30-minute time frame, we wanted to be a little bit more patient based on this level of support break-in. We had the break of support here, pullback, and we had a nice entry signal right there. So this was definitely a good trade, definitely something we went over on Sunday. We entered all the way down here. I would have put stops pretty much above this level, and then first I would have targeted this zone, and then even lower I would have targeted this negative 27. So this is definitely a good example of just a clean, very clean transition. Using what's important here though is we're utilizing this monthly resistance level, this key level. So we know volume is going to be kicking in this area. So we just stayed patient, waited to see something that we could recognize, break of support here, retest, a couple different entry opportunities. Even if you wanted to enter a little bit early, you could have entered on something like this. So this is UCAD at the moment. We're going to wait though for any future opportunities. I'm going to clean this up a little bit at this point, and we can't possibly enter now. We got to wait for some sort of pullback. So what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for a pullback to this level. Boom. Support now, turn resistance. And we're going to try to get short on this up at this resistance level. So that is UCAD. Let's now bump over to NU. NU is another position that's playing out pretty well up on this weekly time frame. Let's start all the way on the monthly. So the monthly time frame, a lot of bullish momentum. Even though overall we are in this downward trend, we are looking to get to a point where we can find sellers again. Buyers are definitely in control. Moving averages have crossed. The next level where I really envision us finding sellers is up at this supply zone right here on the weekly time frame. So this is our previous lower high, had this low form, pulled back, lower high, moving average cross to this low. So this is really the next level that I see us finding, sellers to potentially push down. As I come down time frames, how I was looking at this was had this high form, had this higher low form, again, enough for me to think that we are in a buyer's market. And then we had basically we had a little break of structure here on the 4-hour lower high. And then we started to get, we started to test that level and then ultimately broke that level. So we broke to the upside, formed this higher high, pulled back right here, formed this higher low. And then we came up, formed another higher low. And then as I get down all the way to this 30-minute time frame, this is pretty much where I was looking into this trade. And this trade we actually gave out on, if you were in the live session on Sunday, I marked this one up. It was the beginning of the week. I told you guys to enter right on this area right here, stops below this level. And pretty much what I was looking for here based on all that confluence we had on the higher time frames was I was looking for this break, 30-minute break, and then some sort of higher low. So where would the entry opportunities be? Very aggressively. First entry opportunity was there. Second entry opportunity was all of this bullish momentum through the moving average. And then third would have even been this pullback, and finding some support there. So definitely a lot of opportunities to take advantage on this pair. On NU now at this point, we're accelerating to these highs. There's not going to be an entry opportunity on this today. We need pullbacks, guys. We need pullbacks. We need the trend to continue to form a strong trend. So I'm going to wait for some sort of pullback on this before finding support and trying to go long. So we're going to stay on the sidelines for NU for now. And let's look at USEF though, because USEF could potentially show us something as soon as today. So let's start all the way up on the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame, kind of just focusing in on this area. Let's look at, red over blue, obviously very bearish. We fell below this weekly level of resistance right here, which is definitely key. So as we go down now to the weekly time frame, we're currently retesting this support level, which held on this wick. So this is definitely a major support level. I am trying to keep in mind that we haven't really broke below this point since this is February of 2018. We haven't broke below here in quite some time. So as I come down to the daily time frame, pretty much, looking at price action recently, just had this huge bearish engulfing candle, really showing that sellers are still in the market right now. And then all the way down to this 4-hour. This is what I'm waiting on, this 4-hour. I'm looking at this area previously. Pretty much we had this fake out. We had this break of resistance, made this high, and then all of a sudden we just dominoed and fell to the downside. So I'm looking at much of the same thing right now is we had this breakout to the upside. As we bumped up to the daily, this was definitely just rejection, of the moving averages. And then we need at this point to fall lower. Here we had a lot of volume kick in, fell lower, and then had that pullback. So pretty much right now, we're looking to get in on something very similar to this. This is that previous area. Looks a lot similar to where we are right now, a little bit more consolidation going on. But this move could be pretty big. So basically we're gonna wait on this. This is what we're looking for right now. And ideally what I need to happen right now, much similar to this, is we had a break of this support level, a little bit of a retest. You could have entered on that, put stops like above this area, or ultimately this was a nice pullback, form resistance, blue over red, and then we had red over blue, huge bearish engulfing. That was a nice entry opportunity right there. And we put stops above that level. and then this hit, 3 to 1 risk reward. So that was definitely a good trade previously. Now we're just gonna try to be as patient as possible. I don't want to enter early. I don't want to enter on any of this bullshit right now. I just want a clean break, nice pullback, and then we will look to get in on this position. So again, with DXY, like Nick was saying, we are at a critical level right now up on this daily time frame. We basically just got to see, how price action, what price action presents for us. At the moment, we're overall still very bearish, but we gotta be patient and see what it shows. So I'm gonna drop some of these analysis in the premium analysis channel for you guys. If you guys want to get it on this channel, you just got to go here, just $7 to get in, just a one-time fee. And that's where me and Nick just post like our lower time frame analysis, looking for opportunities. So I'm going to let Nick share up. He's going to get into all the pairs that he's going to cover, including UJ. So there you go.
All right, perfect. What's going on, guys? So thank you for that analysis, Angelo. Very detailed, some gems in there. Tons of good setups from those pairs alone. So here we are on DXY. Just to add quickly to Angelo's analysis, did a great job. Just gave us overall sentiment, gave us a good, analysis of this time frame. It's looking primarily bearish. So here we are on the 4-hour. Go right to the daily for a second. Again, the significant zone is this monthly. Overall sentiment on the daily is bullish until this zone is broken, but obviously we can see the 4-hour is in a very steep bearish trend. Nice movement, came back, formed structure, continued down. So we're still short-term bearish on this for the time being. All right, just a quick analysis. Once look at DXY, so we can move on to AU immediately. All right, so this one's interesting. Again, this is AUD USD. So as DXY moves, this is very, very influenced. So first thing we want to do is go to the daily. Just zoom out, see what the trend is. Overall bearish, clearly to see, very clear to see. And right now we're at a current significant level, this monthly resistance right now. So this was key support over here. Finally broke, retested, continued down, came back up, gave us a little lower high in this area. Corona hit, price action dropped, came all the way back up in the form of a very strong 4-hour bullish trend, right to our monthly where it is now. So let's get a better look at this 4-hour trend. We can drop to a 4-hour. So essentially this is bearish until this monthly zone is broken, okay? So let's go to the 4-hour for a second. Get a closer look at this huge trend. Okay, here's that rally up to the monthly zone that we just talked about right here. Got a nice double top. Price actually came back and then formed this ascending channel. Formed this strong ascending channel up until this area, until July 20th, till now. We got some serious ranging. So this is good and bad. Good because price action's holding at this level. It's pretty overextended on a higher time frame, but it's good to see that it's holding at this higher level. It shows there's a lot of bearish, bullish momentum still. And there were some trades to be had in this range. So you could have shorted, you could have bought just based on price action, but we wanted to be a little more conservative, wait for a breakout of this range, retest, enter on bullish setups. And that's exactly what happened. Broke out, came back, formed structure to 61.8 fib level, you can see here, and then presented some opportunities in the form of a bullish engulfing, morning star, lower time frame transition, across to the MAs, etc. It actually played out to be a really good trade. Our target all along was this monthly level at 0.708 played out. So there was actually these last two candles, you see the increased volume, that just came out from a little bit of news over here, a little bit of positive outlook on AUD. You also noticed NZ has been affected slightly as well. Clearly the, Australian dollar has moved more so off the back of that news, but still very good trade. Definitely were some entry confirmations in this area, 80 pips, risking 40, 2-to-1 risk reward. Pretty textbook. But, where do we get into a trade here? So there's two ways this could play out. Either we see a break of this monthly, in which case we'll be looking for some long-term buy opportunities, because again, this monthly level is very significant. So if we see a break of this monthly, this could be the first the first step in a daily transition to the upside. So there could be a pretty good amount of volume stepping into the market in the next, couple days or week or so. So we'll just be ready for that, seeing how price action reacts. If it surges through, looking for a strong retest, higher time from higher low to confirm this continuation, and then we're entering based on that. But that's one scenario. The second scenario is if we get massive rejection from this monthly and see the bearish continuation on that higher time frame. So again, either way this plays out, AUD USD is in for some pretty massive moves. All right, so that's AU. It's AU, guys. Let's keep going. Move on to AJ here. Very similar story. We'll get to that in a second. Daily
Man,
time
these
frame.
all
Zooming out.
freaking went crazy.
I know, AUD, man, AUD. So very bearish on the daily time frame. Most significant level again is this monthly. Until we break this, we're bearish, right? We need to see a transition above this monthly, higher low, then a push higher. That's what will change our daily trend perspective from bearish to bullish, okay? But clearly you can see this is a very strong 4-hour trend. So let's zone in on that, see what's going on. Super, super strong trend, like crazy strong, higher highs, higher lows, patterns all over the place. So this was that rally, a huge rally to the monthly. Boop, all this year. Nice head and shoulders reversal off this monthly, came back down. And then again, we see another ascending channel. So first thing we want to do on the 4-hour is kind of ride the trend, right? So we were looking for buy opportunities, especially because the overall 4-hour trend is very strong. We're getting this like 1-hour ascending channel, very strong. And we can clearly see that 75 flat was our level to break, right? This was our key resistance. This is nice psychological number, nice resistance as far as all these rejections. So we were looking for a break and retest of that before going along. So just riding the trend, targeting back up toward the monthly. And this is essentially what we saw here. Nice bullish engulfing, closing significantly through 75 flat. Didn't give a retest, but there were some price action entries there. And that's exactly what you saw happen. It's just price action took off. After the fact, momentum stepped in. It was over a 3-1 risk reward. Really great trade. Yeah, because again, off the back of some AUD news. But either way, this is classic trend trading. Would have entered on price action. And just like we saw on AU, we have two potential scenarios here. Either price action surges through the monthly, pulls back into some sort of higher low to enter on a bullish continuation with on a daily trend. So this would be a large move, or we see some sort of monthly rejection on this time frame, and then we'll just look for transitions to the downside and enter on that bearish leg. Okay, so that's AJ looking pretty good, pretty good. Good move, good movement on AUD for the start of this week. To say the least, they really came out of the gate swinging. I mean, like, geez, this thing is 80 pips there, 80 pips on AUD USD. Not a bad start to the week for AUD pairs. All right, so let's move on to AJ real quick. First thing I want to do, go to the daily, see if anything's changed. It hasn't. We're still bearish as shit. Huge descending triangle. Kind of just squeezing price action. This is that Corona whipsaw, so don't mind that. It's not real price action. But we can see that price action is getting more narrow and narrow and narrow as you get closer to more current price action, right? So we can see here clearly, right from April till now, we've been stuck in a range. Now this is a big range between 109.25 and 106. Let's just get a measurement, right? 350 pips. It's a very large range. This means you could probably take some trades within this range, but ideally the larger move that we're waiting on is going to be a break of this range. The downside, and turn a lower high, huge swing to the downside, or break of 109.25, significant break above, retest higher low, enter on bullish setups. So that's where the larger move is at. But right now there are some lower time frame moves, right? So let's go ahead and drop to a 4-hour, get closer to more, current price action. So right now you can clearly see that this is bearish, right? This was our high. Price action came down, hit the bottom of the range, came back up about halfway, more or less a lower high in comparison, and then is again lower high, and so on and so on. So right now we have a bit of a 4-hour transition to the downside. This was key support. It tried to make a higher low. It gave us some support level there and then broke, right, and then retested. Now this level is more significant as resistance, 1, 2, 3, right at 107.35. So pretty big area. Depends on how this plays out. There could be a trade opportunity right here. So let me highlight an area. So this is clearly a lower time frame higher low right there, right? Lower time frame higher low, very clear to see. This is, this is the low, this is the higher low, this is the higher low, but all lower time frame stuff. So what we want to see is this to happen. We want to see a break of this little trend line, a break of this minor support level, get a transition to the downside in the form of, a confirming lower high. And then you can take an entry on that, right? That can be a nice, lower time frame entry, playing within the range, playing based on, price action analysis. So that could be an entry. And then ultimately you would manage it in a way where you'd be looking to get down towards this monthly around 106. So you would just manage it. Again, look for a breaking retest of this support, manage it, manage it, manage it, all the way down to that monthly. So this is the more favorable trade right now, because again, everything's more primarily bearish. We're seeing more of a transition to the downside. So we're favoring more bearish pressure for the time being. And also that lines up with the XY. So that's good to see. More factors coming together supporting a trade idea, the better. So that's the bearish outlook. But as always, we'll consider both options, both bullish and bearish. So we'll consider long opportunities once we see a break again of 107.35, confirming higher low after we see nice bullish setups. And then you'd be entering over here looking for some long setup into key resistance, eventually all the way back up towards the weekly around 109.25. Then you would manage at significant resistance levels on your way up. Okay, so whichever way this goes, this one's probably quite a few hours away from any sort of execution. But yeah, I'll be posting it in premium analysis. Actually, guys, quick fact here. This was the AUD/USD analysis I put out in premium analysis here. And this is exactly what happened. Let me just show you real quick. This is actually a 1 hour analysis. All right, look at see this. We were seeing the breakout. I put this out, kind of just continued to the upside, right? Just to show you guys some of the accuracy of this premium analysis section. So here's AJ, long opportunity, looking for that to continue higher. Boom, it did. All right, and this is just $7 a month. So just wanted to show you guys.
It's just $7 one-time fee.
Yeah, to show you guys. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty crazy. So both of those were highlighted there. Next, we got EJ. So we just covered UJ. Okay, waiting for that breakout. Now here's EJ. This one also was put out. Let me just show you what the before and after was. Essentially, it's the same. It hasn't moved too much. So this was the before, waiting for a break of this ascending triangle. Right, here it is. Here's the break. There looks like there's going to be another sort of retest opportunity. Enter on a higher low here. So now I'm going to just put this here and then go back to the daily for a second. I want to show you the overall trend. I'll get back to this, no problem. But either way, yeah, it was put out in premium analysis. Here it is. Okay, bullish sentiment overall. And that's a 1 hour time frame. All right, so let's go to the daily for a second on EJ here. We should zoom out a little bit. Super bearish, guys. Super bearish. The key area kind of determining the next stage for this trend, whether it's going to continue bearish or kind of start to transition to the upside. This area right here, 123.5. So kind of if we see any closure above this, we start seeing higher lows in this area. This trend is then going to be, deemed bullish now. We will transition to a more bullish sentiment for the time being. So with that said, we have 123. We have an eye on 123.5, waiting for that to play out. But we can clearly see there is a nice 4 hour trend here. So let's go ahead, zoom in on that. Nice 4 hour bullish trend, right? Here's that huge rally to 123.5. Came back pretty swiftly. Nice, like kind of arching reversal. Came right back, formed support near the upper trend line of that giant bearish channel around 119.5, and then started continuing higher again in this 4 hour trend. So, higher lows, nice good structure at 125, just keep continuing higher and higher. Breaks 122, gives us a nice support level, continues with this pattern, ascending triangle, finally breaks out, looking for that retest to then confirm this higher low above the pattern with nice strong bullish setups. We'll enter on that. Take 100 pips, risking 50, 2-to-1 risk reward. Really great potential trade into this significant zone. In which case we'll reanalyze and kind of figure out what price action is going to do after this, because this is a very, very big zone, significant zone, deciding zone for the daily trend. Okay, so we'll just see how this plays out. Looking pretty good so far, though. Definitely looking bullish. This one I would say is probably closest to execution. But finally, guys, let's move on to gold. Fan favorite, right? All right, so daily time frame. Bullish as hell. Let's just analyze that trend, get a good sentiment. Bullish as hell. Nothing here suggesting bears pressure at all. I don't think I've seen a higher low break in months and months and months. There has not been a higher low that's been broken. This thing is so bullish, it's insane. So let's go to the 4 hour. All right, so realistically, we would have loved to see some sort of pullback because this thing is just on the bullish rally from hell. This thing just keeps going and going and going. 38.2 would be where this yellow zone is here, this first zone. 61.8 is right here where this zone is, about 1760. So it would have been really nice to see some sort of pullback. We did get this box pattern, which is prime consolidation, and then just kind of broke to the upside. And now it's surging again. So we're at 1830. This thing is just going nuts. We're breaking new highs right now. So ultimately, we're going to wait for a pullback. Because right now, there's really no entry opportunity on this other than FOMO. You know, like, you can't enter on it. You need a pullback. So we're going to wait on this. I'll come out with analysis as it becomes more relevant. But right now, gold is just on some crazy shit. It's just skyrocketing. So we're going to have to wait on this. And again, as DXY drops, gold will appreciate. There is a huge inverse correlation. So just be aware of that. But yeah, guys, this thing's going to 1900. This thing's nuts. Not in this run per se, but we're getting up there. It's definitely gonna get there at some point. Ideally after a pullback, so we can enter on it. But we'll keep you guys updated with this one.
1830.
Dude, it's nuts.
Shit.
It's nuts. Look at this thing. This is a 4 hour. But anyway, quick recap for you guys. I covered DXY, AU, trade of the friggin' week, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. All right, so that's a good amount of pairs for you guys. Again, all these are posted in premium analysis as they start to get closer to execution. Angela went over a bunch of majors. So yeah, guys, another good live trading session. Definitely.
Yeah, so something we're going to do is for a couple of minutes at the end of these sessions, we're just going to open it up for some questions. So if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat and we'll cover it, and we'll give you guys a minute or two pretty much to go over that. Let's see. So again, these sessions are going to be 7:30. They're going to be moving to this new time right now. And, you know, we're going to post these afterwards, but we're pretty much just trying to get ready, you know, for the markets today. These are all the pairs that we're focusing on. Yeah. Are these the only pairs you guys focus on? I mean, I feel like that's a pretty loaded question because we did just go over like 10, you know, almost like 12 pairs. So at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even trying to follow this many, you know, it's not even like that. But yeah, these are the only pairs that we focus on. We don't look at any indices. The only, I guess.
And we'll peek at stuff. But we're not trading.
Yeah, I mean, these are the pairs that we're trying to trade. At the end of the day, I think there's more than enough pairs here.
Oh, definitely. If you can't find a setup on 10, 12 pairs you're analyzing, you're doing something wrong. It's not the pairs at that point. You know, you don't need an arsenal of assets to trade.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's not about that at all.
So let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead, share my screen, hop back in to the Discord. So all you guys, make sure you guys are in the Discord chat, which is definitely very important, taking advantage of all the free stuff that we have. Like was announced yesterday, we do have our little lifetime membership sale going on. So I just want to go over it really quickly. And everything pictured here is included. You're going to get our full course, premium signals, one-on-one training, our training plan, our private chats. So all of our private chats I'll show you in a second, along with webinars. And most importantly, I feel like with us, especially for beginners, we're extremely positive community. You guys could probably see as soon as somebody in the chat is just bringing negative energy or just saying something that's not needed, they get banned. We don't have time for that. The reality of it is trading is hard enough. And especially when you're out here looking for resources and looking for other people for insights to learn from, it should all be just trying to move forward, just trying to get better, everyone just trying to help each other out. So, if you see people in the chat get banned and it's just because they're not being fair. They think they're better than everyone else, and we like to just try to keep it as positive as we possibly can be, because trading is a difficult position to be in, and it's important to be supported in the right way. So everything here is included, in our lifetime membership. If you guys have any questions about, what you're going to receive and everything like that, just message us. We could send you over a video kind of going over everything, or we could just answer any questions you guys have. But it's fairly in depth, and everyone that's taken the course so far has definitely enjoyed it. If you want to just hop into the testimonials, has definitely benefited from it. And again, you're going to get access to all of our premium chats along with our full course curriculum. Got 50 plus videos in there. So again, if you guys are interested, it's 40% off right now. Normally it's $4.99. Now it's $2.99. Just a one-time fee. So just, shoot me a message. There's only going to be 10 spots available. We're only letting in 10 people because we do have the one-on-ones, the webinars. We're not going to just let in a ton of people. So, just let me know.
Yep. All right, guys. So this has been the first trading session of the week. We will be here again, same time tomorrow, and then again Thursday, of course. So let's get it. Let's have a great trading week. And again, check out those offers and again our free resources if you haven't already.
Oh yeah. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.